Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for coming back to watch me again. If this is your first time watching, then a massive hello and thank you so much for supporting my channel. So today is weigh-in day for me, and it is weigh-in number 20, which I honestly just can't really get my head around. 20 weeks ago, I was in a very different place mentally and physically. My mental health was incredibly poor. To be honest, I have no words for how rubbish and unfit and unhealthy and sore I felt 20 weeks ago. If I hadn't have joined Summer World when I did, I can assure you that I wouldn't be standing here right now videoing for you to show you my progress. I wouldn't have had any progress apart from a deterioration in my mental health and my physical health and my total overall health. And I think you cannot underestimate the power of your mind. If you are in the right zone, you're in the right zone and you need to go for it. You need to put everything you have into it for as long as you possibly can, because no one's life and no one person is perfect. We have things that come up, we have events, we have days out, we have weekends away, we have, days where we just don't feel that good. And yeah, food can be a huge support to a lot of us. After all, it's often what you do as a family, it's often what you do when you celebrate something. But I think the lines, the waters and the lines get a bit sort of blurred and muddy, if you like, when you start to become an adult, you start to become independent, and you can then buy and eat whatever you want to do, or whatever you want to eat whenever you want to do it. So I think my sort of main issues with my weight haven't stemmed from being an adult. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I did lose my mum when I was 13. She did die, and I would say at that age, probably before that, and she was ill for a few years before that, but I would say at that age was the age where I started to gain weight like no tomorrow. And I wouldn't say it was necessarily because I was eating a lot of things that were bad for me as such, but I wasn't exercising. I didn't have the confidence to do it. I got bullied really badly at school from, I would say, primary 1, so you're talking age 5 up to the age of about 16 to 17 years old. I've had terrible comments made to me about my weight, about how I look. These comments are not just derogatory, they also can completely undermine you as a person, and they can completely undermine the struggles that you're already going through as a young adult or a teenager or an adult within life. And I think to look back at that, it does cause me a lot of hurt and a lot of regret, I think, as well, just because I've not stood up for myself in the way that I probably should have. But I didn't have the confidence to do so, because if you're being bullied, or if you're in a relationship that is not a good one or a positive one for you, you become quieter and quieter and quieter until you don't say anything back to anyone. And unfortunately, I have been in that position in life throughout school and in relationships outside of school, obviously, as an adult as well. And yeah, it's not easy. But what I will say is, being able to look at myself and look at how I looked all those months ago now in May of this year, and look at myself now and how I feel now and how much more confident I am now. If I could look back to 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and tell myself now, obviously I've just turned 32, but tell myself back then that everything's going to be okay. And I will lose weight and I will gain weight, but that's okay because that's normal. But to gain and lose like I have done over the years has unfortunately been part of a much bigger struggle regards grief, bereavement, loss. And I think we can't ever underestimate that. And unfortunately, I've been reading a lot online recently that's come down to the fact that obesity is not a real thing. It's not a health condition, it's not a medical condition. You just need to lose weight, you just need to go to the gym, you just need to eat less. Actually, no, can we just stop that right there? We need support. the people that have an eating disorder like myself, who at the moment I am thankfully under the 20 stone mark, but very recently I was over the 20 stone mark. For people like myself who have been on the other side of 20 stone, I can assure you it's not a good place to be. It's not healthy, it doesn't make you feel good, it doesn't make you look good, it doesn't make you think very well about yourself. And I think we do need to change our positivity and our mindset about how we support our friends and our family and our colleagues perhaps at work, but also delving into the reasons as to why or how we can help these people. Certainly I have never been to a psychologist, or I've never been to a counsellor, I've never had grief counselling, all these other things that go along with it, but I do know for a fact that I have a lot of ACE sort of factors involved in my lifestyle, and that is adverse childhood events. So I won't go into all of them, but I know for a fact that I have quite a high score, and that is also accustomed to a very high score of risk regards long-term health issues, obesity, depression, binge eating, eating disorders, etc. And obviously it interacts and affects different people in different ways. And certainly at the moment and for the last 20 weeks, I have been on it. I haven't had one day where I have felt like chucking in the towel. Yeah, you have thoughts, you have moments, but they're thoughts and moments. And I think for this to be at week 20 and to be where I'm at, I am incredibly grateful for all of the support that you guys give me at home. I genuinely cannot explain how important it is for me to come on here, speak to you guys at home, and to tell you what I'm thinking, tell you what I'm making, tell you what I'm feeling. And often in a world where everyone is so busy and people have different things going on in their life, you often don't want to bother them with your stuff. And after being the person who's always usually the person who listens, I'm not usually the person who opens up. And that may be similar to some of you guys at home, so let me know if that's how you are. But certainly we are here this week to talk about week 20 weight loss. And as I said, I can't believe where I'm at right now. I do have a short clip which I'll just show you guys before I head into group, and you can see how things go and how I feel about going into group. It was videos on my own phone, and it was in the car, so I do apologise if the quality's maybe not as good or the sound's maybe not as good, but yeah, have a look.
Hey guys, so I'm just about to head into my Summer World class. It's Thursday and I go to the group at 5:30, so I'm really looking forward to going. Last week I had a total of £2.5 to lose to get my 3.5 stone award, and I haven't done as much walking this week, and of course the school holidays this week in Scotland, so haven't done as much as what I thought I would have done regards exercising, and the weather has been absolutely terrible, but I'm really looking forward to going into class anyway. It's always a really supportive atmosphere and everyone's always so friendly and so happy regardless of going to Summer World, so I think it's a really good place to be at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you in with me and hopefully catch some images or videos of what you might expect when you go into a Summer World class. So let's go. Okay, so I've been in to get weighed and I am absolutely over the moon. Honestly, I honestly could have cried whilst I was in there, so I'm trying to hold it together. But the scales jumped up £0.5, which meant that I didn't quite get my little mini target that I'd set myself this week. To be honest, I genuinely didn't expect to have lost as much as I'd lost this week, just due to not doing as much exercise as I'd said. And yeah, so I'll go back to the main video and I will tell you exactly how much I lost. But it's a good thing and I am so happy.
So as I said, back home now, I have got all of the information and all of the critical vitals that you guys probably want to hear now. And today my weight loss was £2. So I am really happy with that. It's more than I thought. I thought I'd maybe lose £1 this week and hope to lose 2.5 next week, or 1.5 this week, maybe 1 next week or 2 next week. And it's not because I've not been on plan, but I have been doing less walking, as I said in my video there, just because of the weather being terrible, and we've been on annual leave this week, so we've had a sort of different pace and a different agenda to our days. But what I will say is that at the moment I have got my 3 Stone award, and I also have my Club 10. I've got several Slimmer of the Week, Slimmer of the Month, Slimmer of the Week, Slimmer of the Month. I've got several of these. On the back of my book, I've also got a full list of all of my awards, which I'm incredibly proud of, and it's such an achievement. And again, in 20 weeks to get where I'm at is just crazy. I can't believe it. But what I will say is that I was a bit shocked when I stepped onto the scales, because the scale was £0.5 lower than what it registered at, and then it settled. So I'm currently at a loss of 3 stone, 6.5 pounds, and I just lost out on that £0.5 this week by a fraction of a pound. I mean, it must have been minuscule, but you know, I'll take it. I'll get my 3.5 stone next week. So again, I can't complain. I'm really, really happy. I know that there are people who have got less weight to lose than me. They've also got a lot more weight to lose than me, and that's absolutely fine, because we're all on an individual journey. But as I said, if I could have looked back 20 weeks ago, as I said earlier, and see where I'm at now, my mind would not have allowed me to be as positive as what I am right now. My mind would not have allowed me to think that I could even be so successful in doing something like this for myself, for my own health, for my benefit and my family's benefit, ever. And at that point, as I said in previous videos, couldn't bend over, I couldn't tie my shoelaces, I couldn't get in and out of the bath. I was wearing clothes that were a size 20, but I'm sure I probably could have worn a 22 or bigger. I was incredibly bloated. My skin was terrible, my hair was terrible. I've actually lost a lot of hair since I started, because I've just chopped. So it's no longer a veil, it's no longer a safety blanket or a protector. It's a hairstyle, and a hairstyle that's manageable for me. Being able to just basically blow dry my hair today and just sort of wear it, I'll do that if I want to. And before, it would have been a mammoth task. Any of you guys at home that have got long hair know how long it takes to dry it and style it. But drying it, making sure it's straight, and genuinely my back would be killing me. Even holding up a tong or a hairbrush, oh my god, my arms, the pain that I would have in my arms would be absolutely unreal. And you know, these are the things that you don't notice so much at the time when you are overweight and morbidly obese, which is what I currently still am. You don't realise how much of a difference that makes to your day-to-day activities, so your daily living, how you get on in your day-to-day, and what matters to you. And what matters to you back then, when you're overweight and fat and, you know, unhealthy and, you know, really, really putting your health and your life at risk, because you are. When you are so overweight, like myself and other people who, you know, were, you know, I was over 21 stone in weight for my height, is not good. Now I'm obviously less than 20 stone now. I'm not going to tell you how much, but I am less than 20 stone now. And what I would say is that I think some people in the last week or two have made some comments that have unsettled me a little bit, and it's not because it's been derogatory, but it's been a little bit, I don't know, thoughtless maybe. Thoughtlessness is a big thing for people when they just don't really know what to say, and that's okay. But at the same time, they are comments that have stayed with me up until right now, and I'm going to tell you. So basically, people have said, well, you can't stay on Slimming World forever. I mean, when are you going to just eat normal food? It is normal food. 2, well, what are you going to do when you lose more weight? Because surely that'll cost you more money to buy new clothes. Ever heard of Vinted? I've got so many clothes from Vinted, it's unreal, and I will be doing some more shopping for clothes once I get paid, so feel free to check that Vinted sort of haul out once I do it. 3, I need to lose more weight to be healthy. I am not at a healthy weight. My BMI is incredibly high. It's not far off of 40, and I cannot continue to be healthy and to live a healthy life and to do all of the things that I want to do, like outdoor swimming. I want to be able to do paddle boarding. I want to be able to do camping, much more than what I'm already doing, because I'm more able to do them now. I also want to be able to climb up some hills locally to us, and the Ochils, which is just near Stirling. And I think, you know, these are things that I've always wanted to do that I've never done. So what's stopping me? Nothing. Because I'm losing this weight for a reason, and I want to maintain it. And I also want to develop excellent habits to enjoy myself, yes, but to also maintain a healthy weight and exercise regime whilst having fun. So it's not about going and sitting in the gym for an hour or two every day. It's about getting out into the fresh air with your music on, get your mindset on, and get up that hill. That's how I feel. That's how I feel like I want to go and do it right now. So these are things that people have said. And another thing is as well is you don't really look like you've got that much weight to lose. Actually, if people knew my weight, they would realise why I'm wanting to lose weight. So at the moment, I'm currently 4.5 stone heavier than I was in 2021. That's not good. And I've lost almost 3.5 stone on top of that. So you can imagine how much weight I've put on in that really short period of time. So the final comment was from someone who said, but what if you get bored of Slimming World? Will you not just go back to your own ways anyway? Actually, no. I can't ever get bored of it. I know that I have an eating issue. I overeat. I eat 2 breakfasts. I eat 2 lunches. I eat rubbish. I eat cakes, cookies, chips, you name it, pizza. I will eat it. If you give me it, I will eat it. There is nothing that I don't like apart from cucumber. But there is nothing off limits for me. I can buy anything I want. I can go anywhere I want, anytime. And I think that is a real issue that people just don't get if they don't have that problem. Now, there's been overweight, and you know, I know people have got different reasons for that, but there's been significantly overweight for a significant part of your life. So like, for example, when I was 16, I was 16 stone. When I was 17, I was 17 stone. When I was 18, I was 18 stone. That is how my life has panned out, and my age used to correlate with my weight, which is completely unacceptable. But do you know what? It's week 20. I'm almost at a 3.5 stone loss, which I will get for next week, and I feel fantastic. So nothing, no comment, no negativity can bring me down, and you guys at home are the honest main reason for all of that, because being able to come on here, as I said, showcase everything that I'm doing, showcase problems that I'm having, get my thoughts across, and be able to tell you guys that you guys are amazing, and every single one of you is doing your best that you can do. And if you're doing that, there is nothing more that you could be doing on a day-to-day basis. You know that you're trying the hardest. You know that you're making positive changes, even if they don't happen on the scale. The scale is only one measurement. And you know, you can go by your clothes, you can take actual measurements using a measuring tape. You can look at how far you can walk, you can look at how far you can run, you can look at if you can use the stairs rather than a lift. You know, these are really small measurements, and you can also take photos of yourself. So I didn't do measurements when I started, but my goodness, I have photos, and I hope that these will give you a little bit of an insight into where I'm at right now. So as always, thank you so much for watching. You are all amazing, and thank you so much for giving me all the encouragement that I've needed to get to this point that I'm at so far. So take care, and I shall catch you in the next video.